Okay, so today's lesson is lesson 10-8. It's area of irregular figures. So you can put that title down and today's date. And there are only 2 examples on this one. So we're going to be finding areas of irregular figures. So basically what's going to happen here is you're going to have two or three different figures within a bigger figure. So for example, in this one, you have yourself a square. You can see the triangle, and you can actually see a quarter of a circle. Okay, so there's 3 different objects in here, and so now we have to use 3 different formulas to find the answer here. So first of all, we have the area of the triangle. So right here, the triangle, we need to know its base and we need to know its height. So the formula for area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. I like to write that better. Instead of 1/2 base times height, I do base times height divided by 2. The numbers 2 and 4, where do they come from? Well, the base, the B here, is 2. How do I know that? Because from here to here it's 2, and the whole thing is 4, so 4 minus 2 is 2. So this little b here, this little base, is 2. And then they're telling you that the height of this whole thing from here to top is 2 plus 2 more, so which is 4. So 2 times 4 divided by 2 gives you 4. 2 times 4 is 8, divided by 2 gives you 4. You now know the area of the triangle. You still have to find the square and the quarter circle. So the area of the square would be the next one, and it's base times height. So base times height, which is 2 by 2, and that gives you 4. All right, so now you know the square and the triangle. And the third one is the area of a quarter circle. So basically, if you know how to find the area of a circle, you just have to divide it by 4. So that's what they're going to do here. Pi r squared divided by 4, or 1/4 pi r squared, however you want to write it down. I like to write it pi r squared divided by 4. This is what it would look like. Pi r squared divided by 4. I just like it better that way. Now you can do it either way. It's up to you. Whatever one you feel works for you. So we have to figure out our numbers. Well, we know the 4, we know the pi, so what's the radius? What is the radius of this? Well, it's right here. It's 2 inches. So we found our r to be 2. So we're going to square the 2 and we get 4. Okay? And then you multiply that by pi and then divide by 4. But guys, guess what? If this 2 times 2 is 4, you can cross reduce it, and what do you have left over? 3.14, which is pi, or 3.1 to the nearest 10, right? Because that's what it's asking for. And now you take all those numbers, 4 plus 3.1, the square, the triangle, and the quarter circle, add them all up together, and you get your answer, 11.1. So now here's your turn. Go ahead and draw this object, and hopefully you see a triangle, a rectangle, and a semicircle in this particular one. So go ahead and draw it, put in your coordinates, your measurements, not your coordinates, your measurements, 10 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 3 centimeters. You're gonna have to do use three different formulas and solve to find the whole area of this irregular figure. Go ahead and do that now, press pause, see if you can get it, and then come back and check to see your answer. So the answer is 52.3 centimeters squared. So if you got that, you know what you're doing. Next one. Carpeting costs $2 per square foot. Okay? How much will it cost to carpet the area shown? You guys, this is something that a lot of people have to deal with and figure out in their lives, so this is a real world kind of question, real life kind of question. We have a rectangle, we have a triangle, and we have this little square in the middle. All right? So the first thing we have to do is find the area to be carpeted. So the area of the rectangle formula is base times height, and we punch in the numbers 14 times 10. 14, 14 either way, so it's base times height. 14 times 10 gives you 140. Okay, so you found the rectangle. The next thing you want to do is find that little itsy bitsy square in the middle there, right here, this little square here, and it's a 3 by 3 square, so 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so now we have that. The last thing we have to find is the area of the triangle. Formula for area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, and we get 14 and 12. Where did those numbers come from? The base is 14 and the height is 12. How do we know this is the height? Because right here is a 90-degree angle, if you can see that. They should have labeled it, but they didn't. But anyway, you multiply 14 times 12 and divide it by 2 and you get 84. And now what we're going to do is add up all of the area that needs to be covered. It says that they have to cover 233 square feet. Now remember, carpeting costs $2 per square foot. So what do you think you have to do with that number? You have to multiply it by 2. And it's going to cost you $466. $466 to carpet the area. So that's basically how that works. All right, now here's your turn. Go ahead and write down the question. 1 gallon of paint is advertised to cover 100 square feet of wall surface. Okay, that's good to know. So when you go to Home Depot or you go to a store to buy your paint, whatever store it might be, you have to know how many square feet that you have to cover. Because you don't want to buy extra paint, or you don't want to go home and have too little bit of paint. So this is a real world thing, real life thing. 29 by 10, and for a rectangle, and we have a triangle, which is the height is 6 and the base is also 29. So go ahead and write this down, pause your video, see if you can solve it, and then come back and check your answer. And the answer you should have got was about 4 gallons, okay? Now, that's not how, first of all, you had to figure out 29 times 10 is 290, and then 6 times 29 divided by 2, you get that number, add them together, and then figure out how many times 100 goes in there. It might have been less than 400 square feet, but it would have been more than 300, so that's why you need 4 gallons, all right? And that is the end of lesson 10-.